I spill from the shimmering portal, tumbling hard onto jagged, ancient rock. The impact rattles my bones, but it's the ground itself that delivers the true shock. Violent, mechanical tremors rip through the stone beneath me, a relentless, grinding pulse. This isn't just a distant rumble, it's a monstrous heartbeat thrumming directly into my palms, vibrating up my spine. One moment, Leela's frantic, uneven cadence had been a sharp, desperate melody beside me, a familiar comfort in chaos. The next, her rhythm vanishes, swallowed whole by the overwhelming, metallic thrum of something vast and utterly inhuman approaching. The air in this silent, shadowed gorge is thick and still, yet it pulses with an unseen terror. I push myself up, muscles screaming, my breath catching in my throat. My taste-blind senses are useless here, yet my skin screams with primal warning. The tremors intensify, a metallic groan, growing louder, closer, echoing off the sheer black walls. I can almost feel the weight of whatever is causing this, pressing down from above, even before its shadow falls. My gut clenches, a knot of pure dread. We are being hunted, and I've just crash-landed directly into the maw of the pursuit. If you're curious about how I'll use my strange culinary skills to escape this relentless hunt and uncover the secret behind the Seismic Sourdough's ground-shaking power, make sure you stay with me until the very end. I push deeper into the gloomy gorge, the air growing thick with a damp, earthy scent that clings to my tongue like wet loam. The mechanical tremors from the approaching drones still gnaw at the ground, a constant, low thrumming beneath my boots, making my teeth ache. Leela's frantic, uneven cadence, usually a beacon, is completely swallowed now, lost to that oppressive metallic pulse. My internal compass spins, disoriented by the relentless, artificial interference. Then, a new vibration, fainter, yet profoundly distinct. It cuts through the mechanical drone. Not mechanical, not predatory. This is a rhythmic, almost organic pulse, emanating from the specific, dark rock formations around me. I press my palm against a moss-covered boulder. It hums, a deep, resonating bass note that vibrates through my bones, a direct counterpoint to the hostile drone symphony above. The stone itself feels alive, beating like a slow, ancient heart beneath my touch. My skin prickles with an unfamiliar sensation. This isn't just inert rock, it's a living part of the terrain, responding to something deeper, something unseen. I trail my fingers along the pulsing stone, my focus narrowing, trying to decipher its unique rhythm. An unexpected mystery unfolds beneath the shadow of the hunt. My chef's curiosity sparks, overriding the dread, pulling me further into the gorge's living depths. This unique rhythm holds a vital secret. The ground pulses again, a sharper, higher frequency this time. My fingers twitch, instinctively trying to grasp Leela's rhythm, but it's gone, swallowed by this rising thrum. I crouch, pressing my ear closer to the cracked earth, feeling the vibrations travel up my arm, a dizzying instability. That's when I see them, shimmering near a cluster of the earthgrain flourvine. Small, almost translucent creatures, their backs covered in what looks like intricate, living crystalline shells. They usually move with a slow, deliberate grace, grazing on the low-lying fungi. But now, they're frantic. Each sharp tremor makes them flinch, their bodies contracting violently. Though crystalline shells, usually a dull amber, begin to refract the faint light, almost glowing with distress. Then, with a synchronized, desperate urgency, they start to burrow, not just digging, but almost melting into the earth, their shells disappearing last as they sink beneath the surface, leaving only disturbed soil. It's a puzzle piece I didn't know was missing. Their sensitivity hints at something beyond mere noise. The air thrums with a new, insistent rhythm. My fingers trace the rough cavern wall, following a sudden divergence from the smooth, water-worn rock. Etched deep, glowing faintly with phosphorescent mineral deposits, I find deliberate, intricate diagrams, root-like structures spread across the stone, pulsating lines emanating from their core, pushing back against stylized, frantic shapes of what look like subterranean creatures. A partial answer slams into me, cutting through the dread. This isn't just a plant, this Tectoyeast. It's a living, ancient defensive system. The tremors intensify. A closer drone now. A distant mechanical rumble vibrates through the rock, mirroring the patterns on the wall. These roots, this Tectoyeast, it must mimic these ancient vibrations, a natural repellent perfected over eons. The diagrams show a deeper understanding, a deliberate cultivation by those who came before. They weren't just gathering, they were orchestrating. I lean in closer, my eyes scanning for more detail, for the how. The air cools, carrying the metallic tang of the approaching machines. My mind races. This ingredient holds more than flavor. It holds a forgotten language of seismic communication. It's a powerful tool, a shield. This insight, this crucial piece of knowledge, it makes me a stalk. Keep this word. It's how I define myself right now. The pressure mounts, but a new objective crystallizes. I must understand how to replicate this ancient power, not just avoid it. I need to gather it before they arrive. The ground beneath my boots vibrates, a frantic, escalating rhythm that swallows Leela's faint, erratic cadence. I push through the thick, bioluminescent undergrowth, drawn by the strongest pulse, a low thrumming resonance deep in my bones. Then I see it. Not merely a sound, but a visual echo of the tremors. Shimmering, almost alive, gelatinous mycelial structures cling to gnarled, obsidian-dark flourvine roots. They glow with an inner luminescence, pulsing in perfect, terrifying synchronicity with every tremor that snakes through the earth. Tectoyeast. I recognize the ethereal shimmer from old, forbidden texts, now made horribly real. It's a living seismic sensor, directly absorbing the ground's raw, erratic heartbeat. Old gatherer records warned that mature colonies could trigger localized tremors when threatened. Most explorers avoided them entirely. Looking at the pulsing mass now, I finally understood why. This wasn't an ingredient waiting to be harvested. It was an organism waiting to defend itself. My metal spoon, cold and clinical, barely kisses the shimmering, gelatinous surface of the Tectoyeast. It looks like solidified light, but the resistance feels like taut muscle. I apply gentle, almost reverent pressure, intending to scoop a small, precise sample for analysis. The moment the steel makes contact, the entire mass recoils with startling speed. Not a simple pull, but a violent, visceral retraction, an aggressive withdrawal that pulls deep into the shadowy fissure from which it emerged. A low, guttural thrum begins instantly, directly beneath my boots, vibrating up my spine, intensifying rapidly. "Leela, get back!" I instinctively shout, the ground lurching with sudden force. She stumbles back, eyes wide, grabbing onto a nearby rock outcropping. This isn't just subterranean movement. It's a focused, deliberate, seismic pulse, originating precisely from the Tectoyeast's retreat point. The sheer rock face beside me groans, protesting the sudden strain. Then a jagged, incandescent line thin as a spider web, erupts across it, expanding into a deep, audible fissure. This ingredient just violently defended its territory. It's not merely alive, it's actively hostile, a sentient force demanding respect. I realize my approach was all wrong. To acquire this, I can't be a passive gatherer. I have to adapt, to become something more. This is important. Keep this word, stalk. My standard tools are not just ineffective, they are a liability. My heart hammers, a blend of primal fear and exhilarating realization. This creature dictates the terms. The ground groans around me, a deep, mechanical hum that makes the Tectoyeast thrum wildly. Each defensive burst is a violent shockwave, blasting away loose soil and small rocks. I duck behind a cluster of dense, fibrous fungi, shielding my face from the gritty fallout. Leela's frantic steps are long gone, swallowed by this rhythmic siege, but her absence fuels my focus. I watch the Tectoyeast, pushing past the dread. There's a pattern to its rage, a sudden, sharp explosion, then a brief lull. A few seconds of relative quiet where its subterranean vibrations calm, as if drawing breath before another violent exhale. This isn't constant chaos. This is a pulse, a predictable cycle. I dig my fingers into the soft, decay-rich earth, unearthing a large, hollowed gourd. Its sturdy skin suggests resilience. Next, I find a fallen spine from a long-dead desert creeper, thin and resilient, and begin carefully splitting it into delicate bone-like splinters. My hands work with determined precision, my mind racing, adapting. I can't force this ingredient, not without destroying it. I need to cradle it, gently scoop it during its vulnerability. This observation, this rhythm, becomes my only anchor in the encroaching mechanical chaos. I am a stalk-gatherer, learning my prey's cadence, transforming fear into meticulous strategy. The drones are a faint, high whine, closer than before. Pebbles began skittering across the ground with every pass overhead. They were no longer searching. They were closing in. Time is running out. The vibrations intensify, a brutal mechanical tremor now rattling my teeth, swallowing the valley's natural hum. My hands, guided by instinct honed by countless close calls, work swiftly. The Tectoyeast pulses, a volatile, warm heart against the earth's violent rhythm. My improvised vibro knife sings a low, precise note, severing its deep, root-like tendril. A faint, bioluminescent sap wells up, thick and viscous, then rapidly solidifies, clinging to the pristine cut. Precision is paramount here. Any jolt, any sudden movement could destabilize this living ingredient, rendering it useless. I maneuver the severed piece, still twitching faintly, into the thick, insulated pot, its interior lined with specialized dampening gel. It settles with a faint, internal hum, a contained tremor, the vibration instantly synchronized with my heartbeat. For a brief second, I felt the entire valley pulse around me. I secure the lid, the soft click, barely audible beneath the growing, deafening roar directly overhead. We are always prey, always pushing the limits for survival. This fundamental truth, this essential drive, solidifies in my mind. I realize its profound importance. Keep this word, stalk. The drones are now directly above, their immense shadow growing, their mechanical scream overwhelming all other senses. A sharp whistle echoed from somewhere beyond the canyon wall. 2 short bursts. Leela, relief, hit me like a physical force. She was still alive. My prize is secured. Now, to find Leela. The ground vibrations offer no trace of her, only the overwhelming thrum of our relentless pursuers. Escape, immediate escape, is my singular burning objective. The crevice, a jagged scar in the rock face, becomes my sanctuary. It's barely wide enough to breathe, but it's our only shield against the aerial predators. My hands, caked with fine dust, move with a frantic, desperate rhythm. The basalt mortar and pestle sing a low, grinding chant, crushing the fibrous earthgrain flourvine into a pale, ethereal powder. Leela's panicked, uneven footsteps are long gone, swallowed by the mechanical thrumming now vibrating directly beneath my cheek. My breath hitches, a raw panic threatening to seize me. But there is no time for fear, only this desperate act. I scoop the pale flour onto a flat, warm stone. Then, with extreme care, I introduce the Tectoyeast. It isn't merely a leavening agent, it's a living entity, pulling at the dry earthgrain, subtly shifting, almost breathing under my touch. A volatile ingredient, demanding total respect and impossible speed. My fingers knead, pushing, folding, coaxing the resilient mass into submission. Each touch is deliberate, precise, a silent whisper against the growing roar of the drones above. The makeshift clay oven, banked with barely there, smokeless embers, radiates a faint, comforting heat against my face. I slide the shaped dough inside, sealing it instantly with a heavy, flat stone. The confined air grows thick with anticipation, the scent of baking earth mixing with the sharp tang of ozone. I press my ear to the cold, unforgiving rock, feeling the very ground tremble, not just from drones, but from the raw energy within this bread, waiting for it to bake, waiting for the world to finally reveal its hidden seismic heartbeat. I tear into the seismic sourdough, the crust crackling like dry earth under unbearable pressure. Its interior is dense, earthy, almost gritty on my tongue, but the flavor, nothing, just the texture. I swallow, a dull thrum beginning deep in my chest, rapidly growing into a full-body resonance. It isn't a taste, it's a pulse, spreading through every fiber, every bone, every sinew. My vision blurs, then sharpens, not on what I see, but what I feel. The ground beneath me comes alive, a symphony of tremors. Every hidden stream, every ancient root system, every shifting tectonic plate, all register as distinct, vibrating frequencies. A colossal wave of pure data washes over me, terrifying, yet profoundly exhilarating. The frantic, uneven cadence of Leela's escape path, previously swallowed by the drone's mechanical advance, now reemerges, a faint, rhythmic echo far ahead, perfectly charted. But more than that, I feel their approach, the drones, not as distant whirs, but as distinct, grinding vibrations moving across the valley floor, their relentless mechanical cadence mapped in my mind's eye. Each rotor, each gyroscopic hum, etched with chilling, undeniable precision onto a mental blueprint. They follow a predictable trajectory, oblivious to the deeper currents I now ride. My entire body resonates, a living, breathing, seismic sensor. The gnawing dread hasn't vanished, but it's transmuted into a hyper-aware, laser-focused adaptation. I understand this ground now. I understand their hunt. The world just expanded beneath my feet. For the first time since arriving here, I wasn't blindly running from danger. I could feel it coming. That's a wrap for this world. If you want to keep exploring the multiverse with me and see what ingredients we hunt next, hit that subscribe button and join the crew. The next portal opens soon. Don't get left behind. See ya!